You gotta pay. Hello, Sarah, Leandra, kitty. Sorry, yeah, we reached the conclusion of our free streaming. What, kitty? Little boy. So I'll let a few more people get in here. Hey, Jaded. Hey, Christy. We're back. If you don't, what do you want? What do you want? Hold on. Let me feed the cat. Hold on. There you go. Shitty kitty. Okay. Yeah, that's my mom's cat. She's a killer too, boy. I mean, a killer. So that essentially is going to wrap up the what I have for the. That was a fair appraisal of. I got real quiet. Yeah, restream. They want me to pay for the membership. Guess I'm gonna have to go ahead and dole out. But yeah, I think that as far as grief, that's the first. I mean, as far in terms of ethical decisions, you done? In terms of ethical decisions, you have to first be able to understand: are the subjects that you're dealing with, are they grieving, or are they POSs, right? And I think it's very clear in this situation that these folks are grieving. We also have polygraph tests, confirmations, 158 days out of the box, right? Like you start to see all the tall tale signs that these people are who they've been presented as. So far as content is concerned, I think that you can see now the implosion, I guess. I wasn't a part of it, right? I was doing my own thing, right? I didn't have no parts of whatever happened over the weekend. I came on and did my little piece and, you know, asked a couple of people why they thought gay bashing was cool, and then I moved on with my business. However, I guess last night it went dark. So I think that it'll be pretty interesting to watch what transpires in terms of the drama part of all of this. Some some creators want their subs to doubt the polygraph test also, but we knew that was coming. That's why I did a pretty extensive coverage of the polygraphs, because it's the type of science that you use to rule someone in or rule someone out, right? When you rule them in, it means for more investigation. When you rule them out in terms of the polygraph test results, then you're looking at them a little tougher. So and it's also a great tool. If you look at the Watts case, it's a great tool for to render a confession in the right situations. So I mean, we were looking at a situation where I mean, we look at every crime. If they want to give 20 polygraphs, correct, Sue. You have to say that, but you also haven't heard them say anything about polygraph anyone else. They didn't come out and say, "Hey, they JS, she passed the polygraph, or Vold polygraph. Candace passed the polygraph, but we know she did because the people that passed the polygraph said she passed the polygraph. So it will never matter how many polygraphs they take. That part isn't, they passed, right? If they fail, well, unless it goes to Netflix, you'll never hear about it. Or unless, you know what I mean? Like, unless a false test renders some new information, you won't hear about it, right? Typically, that's why they don't want to put that out in the public. But let me tell you what, when Ronnie Lawson and Dr. Phil, they go on and they say that they've passed the polygraph, that is like clearing them without saying they're cleared. You do understand that, right? It's exactly what it means, because they've not put anyone else under the shield or the. So this is the deal. If Ronnie Lawson didn't feel like the polygraph was a useful tool, he wouldn't have used it on them. The FBI, the TBI, if they didn't feel like they could render, an accurate depiction of what they know, they would have never, ever, 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 ever given them the test, right? I think that a lot of different agencies out, in America, the United States, I think that potentially you find some departments and agencies that don't feel like that it's a pseudoscience, right? They feel like it's a pseudoscience. They feel like we can't use it in court, so why even do it, right? We have investigative tactics, or we have, great forensic teams, or we have, so on and so forth that makes, needing, so on and so forth that makes, needing to have a polygraph done, they don't believe in the science, they don't believe in the science, right? But I do see, if anything about what I heard on skeptics is true, what you see is that eventual, it's inevitable turn of CM, because CM has to come around with the very science that he, that he promotes and supports, right? For him to not be in support of the wells at this time, I don't think you'll ever see an outward admission from CM or anyone else that they've turned the corner, right? Okay, I believe they're innocent now. Because to say that the wells are innocent is to say that you were wrong initially. Government clearance doesn't think it's pseudoscience. Well, I mean, there you go. I mean, it is an investigative tool, right? You use it to, as someone, no one should ever agree to a polygraph. Gary Ridgway passed one and they turned him loose to keep killing. Absolutely. You know, so there is some difficulties with it. Now you see in the scenario, like with Chris Watts, for instance, right? Like, that was a heinous situation. He killed his wife and 3 children, and that's where it paid off. So there is that checks and balances when it comes to the polygraph science. No, you're right, KT May. It's too much like right? Like, there's people all funnel, like why do people go to Biden conferences? Because they all support Biden. Why do people go to AA? Because they're all going there for a reason. Why do people get funneled to where they need to be in life. And here we all find ourselves somewhere. And so that means that we automatically have some character defaults in common. I mean, that's just the way it is. We all have some of the same. You want to see something sweet?
Do that.
Did that baby go sleepy time? Hey, go sleepy time. Go sleepy time, dude. That baby sleepy time. Oh, that baby's so sleepy time.
Yeah, now they want proof. They want proof from a sheriff. Sheriff's word's not good enough. Sheriff's on the take. Sheriff's trying to keep Don and Candace out of the joint, ain't he? Come on now. Think past that, right? Ronnie Lawson's, man, he don't, man, be crazy. Would be absolutely crazy to think Ronnie Lawson's on the take. Mimi time. It'd be crazy to think he's on the take. Right? Like, how do you get to that? Get to him being on the take. Right? He's been, he's dealt with other crimes. Anyways, guys, I just wanted to come back in and wrap up so that I didn't leave you guys hanging like, oh no, what happened? We will get back to it here pretty quick. Just going to kind of see what shakes out today. If it's pretty drama-filled, guys, you could expect me to stay out of the way and let the heathen sodomites eat each other. I have no interest in watching the demise of all these very disrespectful and unrespected channels. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to help find a little girl, and hopefully during that bring some insight to some situations, right, in the processes that go on. I think it's pertinent to understand what we're looking at, right? Why would you just want to go to the zoo and look at animals and not understand and read about them too? Right? Get the most understanding you can, right? Hooah. Anyways, guys, remember, what did we talk about our value, right? Our value, right? Boost our value, right? Our value is something. We are something. We are someone. We are somebody's, right? Invest in your own value, right? How do you invest in your own value, Benny? By chopping down someone else that isn't invested in your value, right? If you take away things that devalue you, you automatically are gaining equity back, right? Gain your equity. Get your life equity back. I love you guys. Remember, the absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence, ever, at all, period.